Hello, my name is Graham Wyman, and I'm the program coordinator with the Vancouver Adapted Music Society. I'm here to talk to you today about our first course in an 8-course program that we are dubbing the VAMS Mini School. So to start off, I'm just going to share my screen and show you the different courses that we will be providing. So the first one, and the one that we are talking about today, is called The Importance of Practice. The importance of practice will hopefully help our clients learn various skills used in practicing instruments. The next one, level 200, is called The Tools of the Trade. And this is a lecture/demonstration course designed to provide knowledge, skills related to the technological side of music, including software and a brief history of MIDI. The next course, course 210, is dubbed Music Arrangement. Music arrangement will give students a basic understanding of the concepts and techniques to do with writing for the rhythm section and with a lead line instrument voice in whatever directed contemporary music style our clients would choose. Level 200 is dubbed Songwriting, and this will cover the fundamental musical and lyrical concepts of songwriting in various genres. Level 300 is Dissecting Hit Songs, and this will help our students and clients identify elements of effective records through in-depth analyzing of hit songs. Our clients will also gain the skills to bring these elements into their own musical productions. The next one, level 310, is the pre-production of a record. And this will give our clients and students the skills to listen and analyze popular music like a seasoned producer. The second to last course, level 320, is the Intro to the Music Business. This will look at specific areas where the business and music side intersect, specifically looking at business-related knowledge and skills used in a musical career. And finally, level 400 is called Self-Promotion and Marketing. And this will be an overview of key music marketing principles, terms, and practices, which together will form the foundation for all music marketing plans. If you are interested in any of these courses or one of them, please contact me at gwyman, that's GWYMAN, @vams.org. And if you're interested in looking at this page specifically, you can find it at our website, vams.org, that's VAMS.org, and under the Programs tab, specifically under the Mini School. All right, so as I said, why don't we get started with level 100, which is dubbed The Importance of Practice. And just to tie in as well, the reason that we haven't started up this course yet is because the construction of our studio up at GS Strong has been pushed back a little bit, and also due to COVID-19. We are looking forward to bringing you these sets of courses in 2021. All right, so before we get going into the nitty-gritty of it, I would just like to go over the syllabus for the importance of practice. And here we go. So, as I said, the importance of practice is a course designed to provide knowledge and necessary skills to have the most effective practicing techniques. That includes how to practice theory and how to help your performance skills, how to practice with a metronome, and how practicing can help your muscle memory on an instrument. We'll also go over the difference between maybe what a 20-minute practice versus a 40-minute practice looks like, and how specifically practicing smaller amounts more consistently is better than doing a massive practice once a week. So, once the course is actually delivered, we hope that you will learn various skills used in practicing your specific instrument, or this can transfer into any instrument, and we'll have completed assignments and practical work, which will help you utilize the skills learned in the course. You'll have weekly assignments outlining how you've used the skills we have taught to improve your practice regimen, as well as outlining what you have changed and developed in your practice. This will probably, in total, be hopefully around 2 hours a week of work in preparation is recommended. So, The first part that we are going to look at is how to create a proper practice schedule. Now, the main thing for a practice schedule that I feel is most useful when starting is a way of looking at plan, do, and reflect. So before you go into any practice, you should really have a goal is set in mind of how you want or what you would like to get out of your instrument and what personal goals you have when playing music. Now, once you have that under your belt, the next portion is to actually implement that. So it's not just jumping right into the practice or trying things, but to really consciously figure out what you want to get out of practicing. Now, once you've done your practice, it's always perfect to reflect. Now, to show an example of how to utilize this, we have a template, which is also right under the link that you would have clicked to watch this video. And that is essentially your practice sheet. So I'll just share my screen again. So again, this is just a very simple version of a practice template. You can take it further than this, or you can condense it. But mainly, it's nice to see what time you're practicing, what I practiced, and then how long you practice for. And again, when using this, it'll give you insight into maybe you're practicing longer every day. Maybe you're getting through more of the material that you wanted to get through. But it also helps to see how you're reaching your goals as you go along. So again, that's plan, do, and reflect. Now, I will be showing you another screen that basically this one in particular will show you what a generic practice schedule may look like. Now, right now, we're just going to take a very simple 20 to 40 minute practice. Now, the main thing about music, and hopefully why we're all doing this, is we have a love for music and it gives us enjoyment. So I always say, start off with something that you really love to do for 5 minutes if you're doing the 20 minute. For the 40 minute, you basically just double the time. So instead of 5 minutes, it will be 10 minutes. So for myself, I always love to improvise over music that I particularly love. So one thing I would always do to start off would, for an example, I would play Pink Floyd's Comfortably Numb, and I would just improvise over the chord structures and songs for 5 minutes about. Now the next part that I would do is practice chords. Practicing chords, it's something we all need to do, helps us with our theory, helps us develop as musicians. This holds true for everything within music. So the next part I would do is practice scales. Especially me being a lover of improvising, I need to know my scales for soloing and things like that. And finally, I would practice, utilizing the chords and the scales, and for instance, myself improvising in playing with a song. So for instance, I would be utilizing my chord structure when playing a song. I would be utilizing my scales when playing, and then I take both of those together for when I'm improvising. Now again, this is just for a 20 and 40 minute practice regimen. And again, when you're doing this, it's great if you are curious about what you want to practice. And again, I'll reiterate it probably a few times throughout this video, but the main thing is to have fun. I mean, that's why we're all playing music, right? So now, when you're playing these or practicing using this regimen or however you would choose to, the main thing, and I'll hammer this home as well, but is to practice with a metronome. Now, you can find online for free. There's a metronome called Pro Metronome. It's free on the App Store, or I think if you're using an Android, it has the similar one as well. But when you're practicing as well, it is incredibly important to practice slower instead of practicing faster. Most people like to jump in if they're learning a new piece or playing chords or scales. and they play it at a higher or at the correct beats per minute, or how fast the song technically is. When I was going to college, all my teachers in my performance side would hammer home, practice slow, and then get quicker. My teachers, and I instill this in myself and my clients, is I would rather hear something correct and slow versus fast and wrong. So when doing that, I would start off at a lower BPM, something like maybe 65 beats per minute. And then from there, I would move up to the correct tempo. But again, practicing slow first, taking what you learn, really mastering it, and then progressing to the actual tempo. Now, I'm going to show you some strum patterns. So to give you an example of what I just spoke about. So I'll share my screen again, and here we go. I shared this with another video that we had on the Connect Your website yesterday with clients on my video on the introduction to acoustic guitar, but I'll do a briefer version of what I'm talking about when practicing with a metronome. Now, you can take this with any instrument, but when you're starting off on learning a new rhythm as well, I always find it's very important to clap out the rhythm first instead of just jumping in with your instrument. So to show you an example, I am going to put my metronome on my phone for 65 beats per minute. I am going to count one measure before I start clapping this strum pattern, because again, whether you're in a live setting or playing with other people, you always need to give the tempo. You just rarely hear bands jump right into a song without someone counting off first. So we'll start this first one. And again, the metronome is at 65 beats per minute. Turn that up a bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 4. So as you can tell, that's just a very simple 8-note progression. Now the next one that we're going to do, strum pattern number 2, and again, you can implement this into any instrument that you're practicing with, whether it's piano, guitar, bass, any one that you so choose. So the next strum pattern is 2 quarter notes and then 4 8 notes. So again, I'll put on the metronome, I'll count off one measure, and then I'll jump into it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So there we go. The next one, and again, if you'd like to play along with me, all of these resources are under the link that you use to click to view this video. So the next pattern is strum pattern number 3. We have a quarter note and then 8 notes from beats 2 to the end. Okay, so I'll push play. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Alrighty. The next pattern after that is strum pattern number 4. And the way that this goes is we have 4 8 notes, pardon me, rest, an 8-note rest on the 3, and then 3 more 8 notes after that. So again, I'll count off, and then I'll begin clapping. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 3 3 and 4. There we go. So now we just have the last 2 patterns, strum pattern number 5, which is a quarter note followed by 2 8 notes, but the 8 note on the end of 2 is tied to the 3, and then 3 consecutive 8 notes after that. Again, I'll count off and then we'll get ready to go. And 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 4. So there we go. And last but not least, strum pattern number 6. So we have a quarter note followed by a dotted quarter note and then 3 8 notes. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 4. All right. So those are our strum patterns. And again, you want to start off slow. I was playing at 65 beats per minute and then gradually move faster. So whether I play it at 75 beats per minute next, then 90, 120, or as quick as you see fit. So now that we've got rhythm and practicing with a metronome down, and again, take that if you're even starting a new piece of music. It's always better, again, to start off slow and gradually getting faster, the actual tempo of a piece. Another major thing that is important when practicing is to record yourself. Now, that doesn't mean that you need a fancy rig to record yourself, just whether or not it's on your phone so you can listen back. And again, this really helps to see how you have grown through your practice. It's always great to see what was I playing like a month ago and where am I at now. Again, that really helps you keep in mind your goals. After that, another main thing is to be in the right frame of mind to practice. You know, if you're coming in to start playing your instrument and you're not really in the mood to practice, maybe instead of taking 5 minutes to do something you enjoy, take 10 minutes, however long. Just really, it's important to be in that mindset where you're really focused and ready to attain whatever goals you set for yourself. And that also ties in to taking pride in what you have accomplished. Again, and I'll reiterate it, it is all about enjoying what you're doing. You know, music isn't easy. It takes practice, a lot of time to really get where you want to be. Now, in finishing up, I want to also show the main idea on practicing in my mind, and this was instilled in me when I was just starting out on piano, is practicing in smaller increments versus a larger chunk. So for instance, playing for 20 minutes or even 10 or 15 minutes a day consistently over a week is better than doing it for an hour once a week. Again, that really helps to build muscle memory in what you're doing and to help you really gain and take to heart what you're actually playing and doing. Now, I will show another example of how people should be practicing and for how long. Now, again, this is subjective and you know, everyone can practice as much as they want to attain what goals they set for themselves. But here, let me check. Here we go. So, and this is some psychology behind it. If you're practicing 1 to 2 hours a week, maybe that's 10 to 20 minutes a day. It's not that you have to practice every day, but this is consistent with people likely not sticking to music over a long period of time. Now, 3 to 4 hours a week, that's 20 to 40 minutes a day, like that practice schedule. It's a good starting place. And after a proper warm-up, it's not really giving you that much time what you should really focus on when it's coming to gaining your goals and forwarding your practice. Now, again, this is all subjective. And again, it all reiterates back to what your goals are. So 7 hours a week, that'd be 1 hour a day, is the minimum time spent in order to see change in your practice and your instrument over a long period of time. Now, the recommended would the recommended amount would be 10 to 15 hours a week. That's 1.5 to 2 hours a day. Now that might seem like a lot, and it's not, you don't need to start at that level. But I know in myself, once I started practicing more and I saw myself progress, all of a sudden 20 minutes turns into 40 minutes, turns into an hour, turns into an hour and a half. And so this is a good amount of time to thoroughly warm up and to make accomplishments in each session. And again, utilizing those other techniques, whether part of that's recording yourself, whether part of that's just practicing strum patterns or rhythmic patterns with a metronome. Yeah, and then the next level would be 20 to 30 hours a week. That's 3 to 4 hours a day, and this is for people who are serious about becoming a very competent player and make a living with their craft. Now, finally, would be 30 hours or more a week, and that's 5 hours a day. Now that's for top tier musicians looking to leave a legacy, I guess, as this example shows. And it would be someone like Litz or, you know, anyone that you would mainly know. Miles Davis comes to mind. And yeah, so again, just to reiterate, the main functions of when I'm coming into a practice would be to plan, number one. Second, to actually implement that plan, and to finally reflect on what you have practiced. And again, this is the introduction to our actual course that we're hoping to bring out in 2021. And this is level 100, the importance of practice. Again, if you would like to look at any of the other courses that we may be providing, you can find that on the VAMS website, but also we will be doing other introduction courses throughout our Connect Together programming. And again, my name is Graham Wyman. If you'd like to reach me with any of your questions, you can do that at my email, which is gwyman@vams.org. That's gwyman@vams.org. Thank you for tuning in. Please check out all the other great Connect Together content that we're providing from the Disability Foundation, and have a great day.